Hi, I'm Sally Quinn, and welcome to The God Vote with Jacques Berlinerblau. Today we're going to discuss the Quran burning and constitutionality. We're also going to talk about the Pakistani dilemma, and we're going to discuss a setback to secularism in Arizona. Jacques, on March 20th, Pastor Terry Jones organized a mock trial, and the result was the burning of the Quran. After that, there were demonstrations in Afghanistan which led to the murder of dozens of people. And when asked about the burning of the Quran, this is what General David Petraeus had to say.
We condemn the action of an individual in the United States who burned a holy Quran. That action was hateful, it was intolerant, and it was extremely disrespectful.
So, Jacques, what do you make of this?
You know, Sally, I'm a little bit troubled that a representative of the United States government, such as General David Petraeus, and there's also Senator Lindsey Graham, there's Harry Reid, they're offering these full-throated condemnations of what I think is a basic American constitutional right, which is the right of freedom of expression. He has a right to burn that Quran. I don't condone it, but I feel he has a right to do it.
But, I mean, what should they have said? I mean, where do you draw the line?
Well, I mean, look, this is my issue. We went into Afghanistan, as we go into any theater of war, to protect our way of life. From the moment we start dialing back or walking back these basic constitutional protections, I feel we're endangering our way of life here in the United States. Democracy is big enough to handle a couple of crackpots. I'm more concerned by the reckless demagoguery of somebody like Hamid Karzai, who really stirred the pot. If I understand correctly, you spent some quality time with the Pakistani ambassador to the United States. What did you learn there, Sally?
Well, one of the things that he made clear was that so much of the rhetoric that comes out of the mosques from the radical Muslims is all politics and really has nothing to do with religion. So what you see is people blowing up mosques all over Pakistan, and what are they blowing up? They're blowing up Qurans. And yet, when that happens, you don't see mobs running around killing people in the streets because other Muslims have blown up Qurans, which basically proves the point that this is really about politics and not about religion.
It stands to reason if they were so concerned about those Qurans, they wouldn't be blowing up mosques across Pakistan.
Speaking of religion and politics, the Supreme Court appears to have delivered a blow to the Establishment Clause. What do you make of this?
This is the deal. Arizona fundamentally now has the right to permit, follow me, individual taxpayers to send their state tax monies up to $1,000 or $500 to support parochial private religious schools.
What do you see as the biggest problem here?
Well, there are a variety of problems. Maybe you've heard, Sally, that we're having some disputes about the budget here in Washington and state houses across the United States. Apparently $55 million per year of possible revenue to the state of Arizona is going into the coffers of private religious schools. So that's one problem right there.
So let me get this straight. If you can donate money to your own religious schools, that means that Muslims can donate money to their religious schools, or any other religion can donate, if you're Wiccans or whatever else you might be, can donate to their schools as well.
In theory, yes. The thing is that this organization mostly delivers monies to Catholic schools. So the program would seem to favor one denomination as opposed to religion in general.
It may not be discussed right this minute, but it certainly is going to be discussed in the future.
It's a huge problem. Remember the wall of separation dividing church and state? It's about to become a hedge of smiling pansies, Sally Quinn.
So what did Justice Kagan say in her dissent?
Oh, she delivered a crackling dissent, I think in a very sharp-elbowed sort of way. She's introducing herself to her colleagues on the court. And her view is, I think, the classic view in the 1968 case, that would be Flast versus Cohen, that this is clearly a form of excessive entanglement between church and state, and there is no precedent in the court's thinking about how we allocate tax dollars, and I think she'd rather wish that we didn't come to this decision.
This is Sally Quinn. Please join Jacques Berlinerblau and me next week for another edition of The God Vote, where we will discuss politics and religion.